CCI, Crash Course Instrumentation presents EP 79, Balancing Bridge Circuits Intro. From What is a Bridge to How do we tune it? In the last episode of Crash Course Instrumentation in the Electrical Fundamentals playlist, we met bridge circuits for the first time. We saw that a bridge is really just two voltage dividers being compared, and that the magic happens when the divider ratios match, and the bridge becomes balanced. In this episode, we are going to slow down and really look at what it means for a bridge to be balanced or unbalanced, and how to calculate the changes needed to bring an unbalanced bridge back into balance. We will walk through a specific 4-resistor bridge powered by a 15-volt source, talk about ground referenced versus differential measurements inside the bridge, and then show a simple rule you can use to check for balance or design a bridge from scratch. By the end, you should be able to look at a resistive bridge and quickly answer 3 questions. Is it balanced? How big is the imbalance? And what change would bring it back into balance? Michelle. As always, this lesson is based on the open source Bridge Circuits model by Tony Coupault and the ModEL project, and we are very grateful for that work and for the whole open source community supporting it. Step 1. What does unbalanced really mean? Start by picturing a classic bridge. 4 resistors in a diamond shape, a direct current source connected across the top and bottom nodes, and a meter connected between the 2 side nodes. If the voltage at the left midpoint and the voltage at the right midpoint are exactly the same, the meter between them reads 0. That is a balanced bridge. Equal midpoints mean no voltage difference between them, so no current flows through the meter. When the bridge is unbalanced, it simply means those 2 midpoints are at different voltages. The meter now sees a difference, and current flows through it. In the model, we are given a specific example, a 15-volt supply feeding 4 resistors. On the left side, we have a 2.2 kilo ohm resistor on top and a 5.1 kilo ohm resistor on the bottom. On the right side, we have a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor on top and a 1.7 kilo ohm resistor on the bottom. If you calculate the currents and the midpoint voltages for those 2 voltage dividers, you discover that the left midpoint is a little over 10 volts above the bottom node, while the right midpoint is only about 4 volts above the bottom node. That gives you roughly 6.5 volts of difference between the midpoints. The bridge is very clearly unbalanced. So, in plain language, unbalanced just means the 2 sides of the bridge are not dividing the source voltage in the same proportion. One side is winning the voltage tug of war. Step 2. Ground referenced versus differential measurements. Inside a bridge, it is useful to think about 2 types of voltage measurements: ground referenced and differential. A ground referenced measurement is taken between some test point and the bottom node we choose to call ground. For example, the left midpoint voltage with respect to ground is a ground referenced measurement. A differential measurement is taken between 2 non-grounded points. The bridge output is a differential measurement because the meter is looking at the difference between the 2 midpoints, not between one midpoint and ground. In equations and schematics, we usually show ground-referenced voltages with a single-letter subscript, like V at point B. Differential voltages get 2 letters, like VBD, which means the meter's red lead is on point B and the black lead is on point D. In the example from the model, we can list several voltages. The voltage from the top node to ground across the whole bridge is 15 volts. The voltage from the left midpoint to ground is a little over 10 volts. The voltage from the right midpoint to ground is about 4 volts. The bridge output, the differential voltage from the left midpoint to the right midpoint, is the difference between those two values, around 6.5 volts. Thinking this way keeps you from getting lost. First, figure out the ground-referenced voltages at each important node using Ohm's law and the idea of voltage dividers. Then, subtract one node voltage from another to get any differential voltage you need. In a perfectly balanced bridge, the ground-referenced voltages at the two midpoints will be equal. Subtract them, and you get 0 for the bridge output. Step 3, the simple balance rule. The really nice part is that you do not always have to solve the whole circuit to check for balance. For a simple resistive bridge, there is a handy rule. A resistive bridge is balanced whenever the ratios of the resistors in each leg match. You can think of this in two ways. The top resistor divided by the bottom resistor on the left equals the top resistor divided by the bottom resistor on the right. Or multiply the resistors across each diagonal. The product of the top left and bottom right resistors equals the product of the top right and bottom left. If these ratios or products match, the bridge will be balanced, and the midpoint voltages will be the same, no matter what the actual supply voltage is. In our example, if you divide the 2.2 kilo ohm resistor by the 5.1 kilo ohm resistor on the left, and the 4.7 kilo ohm resistor by the 1.7 kilo ohm resistor on the right, those ratios are very different. That is another way of seeing that the bridge is unbalanced. Step 4. How to rebalance by changing one resistor. The model then asks a great practical question. What value would each resistor need to be if we change them one at a time to bring the bridge into balance? Here's the strategy. Start with the other three resistor values as they are. Use the balance rule that says the product of one diagonal must equal the product of the other diagonal. Solve for the one resistor you are allowed to change. For example, suppose we only allow ourselves to change the top left resistor. To balance the bridge, the product of the new top left resistor and the bottom right resistor must match the product of the top right resistor and the bottom left resistor. When you plug in the numbers from the example and solve, you find that the top left resistor would need to be around 14 kilo ohms, much larger than the original 2.2 kilo ohm value, in order to balance the bridge. If instead you hold the top left resistor at 2.2 kilo ohms and only change the top right resistor, then the top right value would have to shrink down to well under 1 kilo ohm to achieve balance. You can go around the bridge and repeat this game for any one of the 4 resistors. Hold 3 at their original values. Use the diagonal product rule to find the needed value for the 4th. And that gives you one possible way to rebalance the bridge. In real life, you might not have exactly those resistor values as in your parts drawer, but this method tells you which resistor you should increase or decrease, and roughly by how much to reduce the unbalance. Step 5. Design thinking with bridges. The same rule that lets you balance a broken bridge also lets you design a bridge from scratch. Imagine you know the value of 3 resistors that are convenient or already installed, and you want to pick a 4th value that will give you a balanced condition at some normal operating point. You use the exact same diagonal product rule and solve for the unknown. In sensor applications, engineers often pick the fixed resistor values so that the bridge is balanced when the sensor is at a normal or zero condition. Then, as the sensor's resistance changes with strain, temperature, or light, the bridge output voltage swings positive and negative around zero. That symmetric response makes it easier for amplifiers and analog to digital converters to interpret both positive and negative changes from the reference point. Once you are comfortable with the idea that balance is all about matching resistance ratios, it stops feeling like magic and starts feeling like another very useful tool in your mental toolbox. Wrap up. What you should remember a bridge is balanced when the two midpoint node voltages are equal, giving a bridge output of 0. It is unbalanced when those node voltages are different. Ground referenced voltages are measured from a node to the chosen ground point. Differential voltages are measured between any two nodes, and the bridge output is a differential measurement. For a resistive bridge, balance happens when the ratio of the top to bottom resistor on the left matches the ratio of the top to bottom resistor on the right, or when the products of resistors across each diagonal are equal. You can rebalance an unbalanced bridge by changing any one resistor so that those ratios match again. The same rule lets you design new bridges, especially sensor bridges, so that zero output corresponds to a normal operating condition. Once again, a big thank you to Tony Copalt and the open source community for creating and sharing the bridge circuits model and the rest of the ModEL project that this episode is built on. This has been episode 79 in the Electrical Fundamentals playlist on the Crash Course Instrumentation channel. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if it helped solidify your understanding. And stick around as we continue exploring how these circuit building blocks turn into real industrial instrumentation.